The red dust of Mars swirled around Dr. Elena Santos as she carefully brushed away centuries of sediment from what appeared to be a perfectly smooth metallic surface. Her heart raced as the afternoon sun cast an otherworldly glow across the excavation site. After 3 months of digging at these coordinates, her team had finally found something extraordinary, something that would forever change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. "Dr. Santos, you need to see this," called out Dr. James Chen, her colleague of 15 years. His voice carried an urgency she had never heard before. As she made her way to his position, the ground beneath them hummed with a low frequency that seemed to resonate through their bones. The artifact they had uncovered was beginning to emit a soft blue light, pulsing in regular intervals. It wasn't just alien technology, it was active alien technology. Within hours, the signal from the artifact reached beyond Mars' atmosphere, broadcasting into the depths of space. Humanity had inadvertently announced its presence to the galaxy. The response came faster than anyone had anticipated. Within days, massive ships appeared in Earth's orbit, their sleek designs unlike anything humans had ever conceived. They called themselves the Kraxan, a spacefaring empire that claimed to welcome humanity into the galactic community. Their ambassadors, tall beings with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to hold the depth of space itself, spoke of peace, cooperation, and technological exchange. World leaders gathered in Geneva to meet with the Kraxan delegation. Dr. Santos, as the lead researcher who discovered the artifact, was invited to attend. Something about the aliens' behavior made her uneasy, the way they dismissed certain questions, their insistence on establishing bases on Earth for cultural exchange, and their peculiar interest in Earth's military capabilities. Her concerns were validated 3 months later, when the Kraxan revealed their true intentions. The cultural exchange centers were actually forward operating bases, and the seemingly peaceful diplomatic mission was nothing more than reconnaissance for an invasion force hiding behind Mars. The attack began at dawn. The Kraxan ships that had been orbiting Earth suddenly activated weapon systems that had been concealed beneath their elegant exterior. Major cities worldwide were hit with precision strikes, targeting military installations, power grids, and communication centers. The very technology that humanity had marveled at was now being used to bring civilization to its knees. But the Kraxan had made a crucial mistake. They had underestimated human resilience and adaptability. While their initial strike was devastating, it wasn't as thorough as they had planned. In the chaos of the first attacks, key military and scientific personnel managed to evacuate to hardened facilities deep underground. Dr. Santos found herself in one such facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, working alongside military strategists and fellow scientists. The knowledge she had gained from studying the Mars artifact proved invaluable. The Kraxan's technology, while advanced, followed patterns and principles that she had begun to understand during those 3 months of peaceful contact. The artifact wasn't just a beacon, she explained to General Sarah Chen, who commanded what remained of North American Defense Forces. It was a test. The Kraxan left it there millions of years ago to identify civilizations reaching a certain technological threshold. They wait for species to advance enough to be useful, but not enough to pose a real threat. But humanity refused to play the role of helpless prey. Within weeks of the invasion, a global resistance network began to form. The underground facilities, connected by hardened communication lines that predated the digital age, became humanity's command centers. Scientists and soldiers worked together, studying captured Kraxan technology and developing countermeasures. Dr. Santos made a breakthrough when she discovered that the Kraxan's weapons relied heavily on quantum field manipulation. Their technology was incredibly advanced, but it was also dependent on precise calibrations. If humanity could find a way to disrupt these fields, they might have a fighting chance. The first successful test of this theory came 2 months into the invasion. A small team of resistance fighters, using devices cobbled together from salvaged alien tech and Earth-based quantum sensors, managed to disable a Kraxan patrol ship over the ruins of Tokyo. The ship crashed, providing the Resistance with their first intact specimen of Kraxan technology. As the first part of the war drew to a close, humanity had learned harsh but valuable lessons. The Kraxans' betrayal had cost millions of lives, but it had also united Earth's survivors in a way nothing else could have. The Resistance was growing stronger, and the knowledge gained from the Mars artifact and captured Kraxan technology was beginning to level the playing field. In her underground lab, Dr. Santos worked tirelessly with her team, knowing that humanity's survival depended on understanding and countering the enemy's technological advantages. The Kraxan had expected a swift victory over what they considered a primitive species. Instead, they had awakened a determination that would shake the foundations of their empire. The war for Earth was just beginning, and humanity was preparing to show the galaxy exactly what they were capable of when pushed to the edge of extinction. 6 months into the Kraxan occupation, Earth's resistance had evolved from scattered groups of survivors into a coordinated global network. Deep beneath the ruins of major cities, in forgotten Cold War bunkers and hastily constructed underground facilities, humanity prepared for what would become the greatest fight in its history. Major Diana Way stood in the command center of what was once a defunct missile silo in the Australian outback, now repurposed as the Pacific Resistance Hub. Holographic displays, cobbled together from salvaged Kraxan technology and human ingenuity, showed the movement of enemy forces across the globe. The aliens had established their primary bases in former metropolitan areas, using them as staging grounds for their continued subjugation of Earth. "They're getting sloppy," Diana observed, pointing to a pattern in the Kraxan patrol routes. "Their confidence is making them predictable." She had spent the last 3 months coordinating guerrilla strikes against enemy supply lines, each success building upon the last. Dr. Santos' quantum disruption theory had proven to be the key to fighting back. Working with resistance cells worldwide, her team had developed what they called Ghostmaker devices, portable quantum field disruptors that could temporarily disable Kraxan technology. The challenge now was producing enough of them to make a difference. In what remained of Mumbai, Dr. Raj Patel had transformed his family's electronics factory into a clandestine manufacturing facility. His knowledge of microfabrication, combined with Dr. Santos' designs, allowed for the mass production of Ghostmaker components. The factory operated deep underground, powered by geothermal energy to avoid detection. Each device requires precise calibration, Raj explained during a secure video conference with resistance leaders. But we've managed to increase production by 300%. The latest version is smaller, more powerful, and can affect a larger radius. The Resistance's growing effectiveness had not gone unnoticed. The Kraxan response was brutal, leveling entire city blocks at the slightest hint of human activity. But their scorched earth tactics only served to strengthen humanity's resolve and drive more survivors into the Resistance's arms. Among these survivors was Carmen Rodriguez, a former software engineer who had discovered a critical weakness in Kraxan communications. Their quantum encryption, while virtually unbreakable, relied on synchronized nodes across their network. Carmen developed a virus that could create millisecond delays in these nodes, causing cascade failures in their communication systems. Their entire command structure depends on instantaneous communication, Carmen explained to Major Way. When we disrupt that, even for a fraction of a second, it creates chaos in their ranks. They've never had to deal with communication lag before. The Resistance put this knowledge to use in Operation Silent Thunder, their first coordinated global strike. Resistance cells worldwide activated Carmen's virus, while strike teams equipped with Ghostmakers hit multiple Kraxan bases simultaneously. The aliens, unable to coordinate their defenses effectively, lost 12 facilities in a single night. But the victory came at a cost. The Kraxan, enraged by their losses, launched orbital strikes against suspected resistance locations. Thousands died, including many civilians who had nothing to do with the resistance. The aftermath of Silent Thunder forced the Resistance to confront difficult questions about the price of victory. In the depths of her Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Santos worked on an even more ambitious project, The quantum disruption technology that powered the ghost makers had revealed something unexpected about Kraxan physiology. Their bodies contained traces of quantum-entangled particles, suggesting their entire species was connected through some form of quantum network. This could be why they're so effective as a collective, she theorized. But it's also a potential vulnerability. If we can disrupt their quantum coherence on a large enough scale, we might be able to do more than just disable their technology. The implications were staggering. The Resistance wasn't just fighting for survival anymore. They were on the verge of discovering something that could change the nature of the war itself. But developing this technology would require resources they didn't have and risks they weren't sure they could take. Major Way, reviewing the latest intelligence reports, knew they were running out of time. The Kraxan were bringing in reinforcements, preparing for what appeared to be a final push to crush the Resistance once and for all. They had underestimated humanity once. They wouldn't make that mistake again. But humanity had changed. The Resistance wasn't just a military force. It was a testament to human ingenuity and determination. In labs, bunkers, and hidden facilities around the world, people from all walks of life worked together, each contributing their unique skills to the fight for survival. As the Resistance prepared for their next major operation, one thing became clear. The Kraxan had intended to break humanity's spirit, but instead they had forged it into something stronger than ever before. The underground Resistance was no longer just fighting back. They were preparing to take the war to the stars themselves. The Resistance's underground command center buzzed with nervous energy as Major Diana Way unveiled the most ambitious plan humanity had ever attempted. Operation Shattered Stars wasn't just another strike against the Kraxan. It was humanity's bid to take the fight into orbit and beyond. Dr. Santos's breakthrough in quantum coherence disruption had led to the development of what they called the sundering device. Unlike the portable ghost makers, this weapon could potentially sever the quantum links that connected the entire Kraxan species. But deploying it would require something they'd never done before: capturing one of the Kraxan's orbital command ships. The plan has 3 phases, Major Way explained to the assembled Resistance leaders. Holographic displays showed the positions of Kraxan ships in Earth orbit. First, we use Carmen's virus to create communications chaos in their fleet. Then, strike teams equipped with advanced ghost makers will board their command ship using captured Kraxan shuttles. Finally, we deploy the sundering device. Dr. Raj Patel's facilities had been working around the clock to produce the necessary equipment. His team had reverse-engineered Kraxan environmental suits, allowing humans to survive in the alien vessels. The suits aren't perfect, he admitted, but they'll keep our people alive long enough to complete the mission. Carmen Rodriguez had enhanced her communication virus, making it nearly impossible to detect or counter. Once it activates, they'll be completely blind for approximately 8 minutes, she explained. That's our window. The Resistance had assembled their elite teams from survivors worldwide. Among them was Captain Marcus Chen, a former Special Forces operator who had been leading hit-and-run missions since the invasion began. His team would spearhead the boarding action. "We've trained for this," Marcus assured his squad as they prepared in the hidden hangar beneath the Rocky Mountains. "The Kraxan think they own space. Time to prove them wrong." The operation began at midnight GMT. Carmen's virus slipped through the Kraxan's quantum network, creating cascading failures in their communication systems. Within seconds, their perfectly coordinated fleet fell into disarray. Strike teams launched from hidden bases around the globe, piloting captured Kraxan shuttles modified with Ghostmaker technology. The alien ships, their systems compromised, couldn't distinguish friend from foe as the human vessels approached. Captain Chen's team was the first to breach the command ship's hull. The interior was a maze of curved corridors bathed in otherworldly light. Kraxan defenders, their quantum-linked coordination severely hampered, fell before the determined human assault. "Engineering section secured," Marcus reported, his voice tense but controlled. "Beginning Phase 3 deployment." Dr. Santos, monitoring from the ground, watched as the sundering device's energy signature appeared on her screens. "The quantum field is building," she reported. 30 seconds to critical mass. The device activated with a pulse that was felt rather than seen. Throughout the command ship, Kraxan soldiers suddenly clutched their heads, their quantum-linked consciousness fragmenting. The effect spread through their fleet like a shockwave. But the Kraxan weren't finished. Their ships, though uncoordinated, began firing blindly at Earth. Major Way ordered the activation of ground-based energy shields, another adaptation of captured alien technology, just as the first shots struck the atmosphere. "All teams, complete your objectives and get out," she commanded. "The shields won't hold forever." Captain Chen's team fought their way back to their shuttle, carrying crucial Kraxan data cores that could reveal the extent of their empire's presence in the galaxy. The command ship, its crew incapacitated by the sundering device, began to drift. The retreat was as chaotic as the assault. Several shuttles were lost to desperate Kraxan fire, their crews sacrificing themselves to ensure the operation's success. But as the surviving teams returned to Earth, they knew they had achieved something unprecedented. The aftermath of Operation Shattered Stars revealed the true scope of their victory. The quantum disruption had affected Kraxan forces across the entire solar system. Their once perfect coordination was shattered, reducing them to isolated units fighting without their usual tactical advantages. In her lab, Dr. Santos analyzed the data from the command ship. Their quantum network wasn't just for communication, she discovered. It was the foundation of their entire civilization. We didn't just disrupt their military. We forced them to experience individuality for the first time in their species' history. The implications were staggering. The resistance had struck a blow that would reshape not just the war, but the Kraxan Empire itself. Reports began coming in of Kraxan ships retreating from Earth orbit, their crews struggling to operate without the quantum link they had relied upon for generations. Major Wei knew the war wasn't over. The Kraxan would adapt, and their retaliation would be fierce. But humanity had proven something crucial. They weren't just fighting for survival anymore. They were fighting to reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. As the resistance celebrated their victory, Dr. Santos turned her attention to the captured data cores. What she found there would change everything they thought they knew about their place in the cosmos. The Kraxan weren't the only advanced civilization out there, and Earth's resistance was about to gain the attention of powers far beyond their comprehension. The data cores retrieved from the Kraxan command ship revealed a universe far more complex and populated than humanity had imagined. Dr. Santos spent weeks decoding the information, each discovery more incredible than the last. The Kraxan, despite their advanced technology, were merely one of many civilizations competing for power in the galaxy. "There's an entire Galactic Council," she explained to the Resistance leadership. "Dozens of species, each with their own territories and alliances. The Kraxan invasion wasn't just about conquering Earth. It was about proving their dominance to the other powers." The revelation came at a crucial time. The sundering device's effects had forced most Kraxan forces to retreat from Earth orbit, but scattered reports suggested they were regrouping. More significantly, other alien civilizations had taken notice of the unprecedented defeat of a Kraxan fleet. Major Wei received the first diplomatic transmission 3 weeks after Operation Shattered Stars. It came from the Aetherian Collective, a species of energy beings who had long opposed Kraxan expansion. Their message was clear. Humanity's resistance had shaken the galactic power structure. "We've inadvertently announced ourselves to the galaxy," Major Wei told her officers. "And not everyone is happy about it. Some see us as a threat, others as an opportunity. We need to be ready for whatever comes next." The Aetherians weren't the only ones watching. The Mycelian Network, an ancient race of fungal entities that specialized in information trading, reached out through quantum channels that even the Kraxan hadn't known existed. They offered humanity access to their vast knowledge repositories in exchange for the secrets of the sundering device. Dr. Raj Patel, working with Carmen Rodriguez, established secure communication protocols for these diplomatic exchanges. "We're not just fighting a war anymore," he observed. "We're engaging in galactic politics." The Galactic Council itself was thrown into chaos by Earth's emergence. The Kraxan had violated numerous treaties by attempting to conquer Earth without declaring their intentions to the Council. Their use of quantum enslavement technology, the very system that the sundering device had disrupted, was revealed to be illegal under galactic law. Captain Marcus Chen, now heading Earth's first official diplomatic security team, found himself protecting alien dignitaries who came to witness humanity's achievements firsthand. "They look at us differently now," he reported. "There's fear there, but also respect." The Kraxan Empire faced internal turmoil as well. The survivors of the quantum severance have begun to develop individual thoughts and personalities, leading to unprecedented dissent within their ranks. Some Kraxan commanders, experiencing freedom of thought for the first time, questioned their species' militant expansion. Dr. Santos made another breakthrough while studying the mycelium data archives. The Mars artifact wasn't left by the Kraxan, she discovered. It was placed there by a species called the predecessors, ancient beings who seeded the galaxy with technology to help emerging civilizations defend themselves against exactly this kind of aggression. This discovery attracted the attention of the Sentinel Collective, a secretive group of artificial intelligences that claimed to be custodians of predecessor technology. They offered humanity membership in their defense network, a move that would dramatically alter the balance of power in the galaxy. Major Way and the Resistance leadership faced difficult decisions. Earth was no longer simply defending itself. It was becoming a player in a complex galactic political landscape. Every alliance they made, every secret they shared, could have far-reaching consequences. The Kraxan, desperate to maintain their position in the galactic hierarchy, launched a diplomatic offensive of their own. They claimed that humanity's use of the sundering device constituted a war crime, arguing that disrupting their species' quantum connection was a form of genocide. But evidence from the data cores told a different story. The Kraxan's quantum network wasn't natural. It was an artificial system imposed on their population to maintain control. The sundering device hadn't just given individual Kraxan soldiers free will. It had liberated an entire species from technological enslavement. As Earth's influence grew, so did the challenges. Some alien civilizations saw humanity's rapid rise as a threat to the established order. Others sought to manipulate Earth's newfound power for their own ends. The Resistance, which had formed to defend against a single enemy, now had to navigate a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Dr. Santos, reviewing the latest data from the mycelium archives, stumbled upon information that changed everything. The predecessors hadn't just left defensive technology. They had created a network of superweapons throughout the galaxy, hidden away for use in times of extreme crisis. One of these weapons was buried deep beneath Mars, far more powerful than the artifact that had started it all. As the Resistance leadership debated their next move, reports arrived of massive Kraxan fleet movements. The Empire, its authority challenged and its control slipping, was preparing for one final desperate attempt to reassert its dominance. The war for Earth was about to enter its final phase, and the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. The Martian dust storm raged as Dr. Elena Santos descended into the depths of the newly uncovered predecessor facility. What they had first thought was a simple beacon had turned out to be merely the tip of a vast complex buried beneath the red planet's surface. Time was running out. The Kraxan fleet would reach the solar system within days. "The weapon isn't just powerful," she explained to Major Way over their quantum-encrypted channel. "It's a fundamental force manipulator." The predecessors designed it to reshape reality itself. Back on Earth, Major Way coordinated with their new allies. The Aetherian Collective had positioned their energy-based ships at strategic points throughout the solar system. The Mycelium Network's vast information web tracked Kraxan fleet movements, while the Sentinel Collective's AIs calculated possible battle scenarios. Captain Marcus Chen led the defense of the Mars facility, his teams equipped with technology from half a dozen alien civilizations. "The Kraxan aren't just fighting us anymore," he told his soldiers. "They're fighting for their very way of life." The Kraxan arrival shook the solar system. Their fleet, larger than anything previously encountered, emerged from hyperspace in waves. But they were different now. Without their quantum network, each ship operated independently, their tactics showing both weakness and unprecedented creativity. Dr. Raj Patel's manufacturing facilities had worked miracles, producing enough Ghostmaker devices to equip Earth's hastily assembled space fleet. Carmen Rodriguez's viral algorithms adapted in real time, seeking new ways to disrupt the Kraxan's remaining communication systems. The battle began in the space between Mars and Earth. The Kraxan fleet, though numerous, found themselves facing an alliance unlike anything in galactic history. Aetherian energy beams phased through their shields, while mycelium spores corrupted their navigation systems. Human ships, smaller but more maneuverable, struck with precision using tactics no quantum-linked mind would have conceived. Deep beneath Mars' surface, Dr. Santos reached the predecessor weapons control center. The architecture was both familiar and alien, as if designed to be intuitive to any species that might need it. "The weapon doesn't destroy," she realized as she studied the controls. "It transforms." The Kraxan commander, in a surprising move, requested direct communication with Earth's leadership. On screens across the solar system, a face appeared, not the uniform Kraxan features they had come to know, but one marked by individual expression. "We were wrong," the commander admitted, his words carrying the weight of personal thought rather than collective consciousness. "The quantum network wasn't our strength, it was our prison. But we cannot simply surrender. Too many of our people still believe in the old ways." Major Wei's response was diplomatic but firm. "Then let us help you truly free your people, not through destruction, but through transformation." The fighting continued as Dr. Santos worked to understand the predecessor weapon. The cost was staggering. Ships from all sides were lost, their crews making the ultimate sacrifice for a future they might never see. The space around Mars became a graveyard of twisted metal and shattered dreams. Finally, Santos made the breakthrough they needed. "The weapon doesn't operate on quantum principles," she reported. "It works with something far more fundamental, consciousness itself. The predecessors designed it to elevate species beyond their limitations." The decision to use the weapon wasn't made lightly. Representatives from every allied species contributed their insights, their combined wisdom helping humanity understand the responsibility they were about to assume. The Kraxan fleet pressed their attack, but now their efforts seemed less like warfare and more like a desperate cry for help. When the weapon activated, there was no dramatic explosion, no massive destruction. Instead, a wave of pure possibility swept through the solar system. The effect on the Kraxan was immediate and profound. Their remaining quantum links didn't shatter, but rather evolved, transforming from chains of control into bridges of understanding. The battle ended not with surrender, but with awakening. Kraxan ships stood down as their crews experienced true individual consciousness while maintaining a voluntary connection with their fellows. The transformation rippled through their entire civilization, reaching their homeworld and colonies. The price of victory was measured not just in lives lost, but in the weight of responsibility gained. Earth, through its resistance and determination, had changed the course of galactic history. The predecessor weapon was sealed away again, its purpose served, while humanity took its place among the stars. Major Wei, watching Earth rise over the Martian horizon, reflected on their journey. "We fought not just for survival, but for the right to choose our own path. And in doing so, we helped another species find theirs." Dr. Santos returned to the original Mars artifact, now understanding it was never meant to be a test or a trap, but a key to helping species unlock their true potential. The resistance that had formed to defend Earth had accomplished something far greater. They had shown the galaxy a new way forward. The Galactic Council was reformed, with Earth playing a crucial role in its new structure. The Kraxan, their civilization transformed, began the long process of redemption. Other species watched and learned, seeing in humanity's victory not just the triumph of force, but the power of choice, determination, and hope. As the dust settled on both Mars and Earth, the survivors began the work of rebuilding. The scars of war would remain, but they were overshadowed by the promise of what was to come. Humanity had not just survived. They had helped reshape the galaxy into something better than before. The story of Earth's resistance became legend among the stars, not for the battles won or the technology mastered, but for the fundamental truth it revealed. True strength lies not in domination, but in the courage to forge a new path, even in the darkest of times.